Hello, Molo. How are you? Yeah, we are continuing with yesterday's render. If you're here yesterday, we were trying to recreate some of these pieces here, and let me provide the link to the reference images if you want to check them out. Those are the reference images. Hello, Patrick Hollywood. Finally, I was able to catch you. Great. Good. Yeah, so this is what we were creating yesterday, and we worked on this piece here, which is what you see. I've changed it a bit, extended the room like this, and yeah, I think it's looking much better, as you can see. And let me play around with different color presets. See how. By the way, this is my add-on called Vibrant Colors, and I can get it from the link using exclamation mark add-ons. You can see where I have it. Anyway, so that's what we created yesterday. We're going to continue with this. I think yesterday's stream ended when I was at, I think at this. Let me first get this. I was, yeah, we were working on this room here. Hello, Stanis. How are you doing? Morning, the Flare. How are you? Yeah, so this is where we left off. The stream ended. My internet broke again. Let me first remove the vibrant color presets. Let me set the colors a bit so that we can see the raw thing. Now we can continue with this. I'm going to come here in the image editor, grab this image. Let me actually just bring this window here. Let me close this. We were creating, which one was it? This piece here. Creating this piece. So let's continue with this. I think, yeah. Let me see. I don't know. Thinking maybe to make the stream more interesting, I'm going to go with this because I think there isn't a lot to do here. It's just mostly object placement, which is not that interesting. Let's try creating this scene here. So let me create a new project. Zoom in a bit, look at this detail. I think for this we can use Eevee because of the volumetrics. Cycles will also work, but it takes quite some time to render out scenes with volumetrics. That's why I don't want to use it in this case. Anyway, so let's get started with this. I think I can start with these steps here. Maybe just use a cube like this. Let me give it, I'll go to my texture folders and search for rock texture, and see, maybe grab this. Let me use that. Let me use object projection for this image. Object projection. Object. Want this to be box. So that would be a rock surface. Maybe apply the scale like that. Round off the corners. Maybe use a bevel modifier for this. I would just bevel the corners a bit, auto smooth, and then harden normals. Then I can use the array modifier. I think I can use the array modifier to kind of have this repeated because we're trying to create are these steps here. Let me also frame my camera. Can I save this image? And so grab this. Let me get this image from the post directly because I don't want. So this, yeah, again, you can get the reference images here, and I want to just have it in the viewport, so I'm just going to save it directly there. And maximize this viewport. Change this to the UV editor. Just drag the image in like that. Yeah, so that's our steps. Scale them down. Grab this, push it back. Now, there is some damage on the bricks or on these. So what I can do for that, to add that, I can grab a mesh like this, add some subdivisions, maybe a few like that. I can use wireframe. Let me just change this to change the visibility of this viewport visibility to wireframe. Then add a displacement modifier, new displacement. Let me grab a noise texture, noise texture like this. I think I need a clouds texture instead of a noise, like that. And get this object, give it a boolean modifier. Select this as the boolean, change this to fast, and I see what we're having. We're getting some damage, but the problem is the damage is also cutting a very large hole in the steps. So I think what I can do is let's go back to the array here, change this to 1, and have the bevel come after the boolean, or maybe before you even add the bevel. You can apply, let's see if you can apply the array and just first remove any doubles, and also get rid of these faces at the bottom. Or let me just go to the top view, select the faces here, go to the front view, select these faces as well, then just delete the inverse, or just select these faces and then just delete. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just giving myself a lot of headache doing it this way. Hello L9. Let me just add a cube like this. Just create the steps manually. Just grab this, merge, and just bridge this face and then dissolve. Then I can flatten this. Then this can be scaled on the X like that. So do you like to use Blender or does better? I've never used does. I'm mostly using Blender. Grab this, dissolve that. So this is how we're going to create the steps, because I don't want to have a gap when I add the booleans. So I can have as many steps as I want, but I think this might be enough, or maybe we might want to make these a bit smaller and have them repeated here. Just dissolve that edge. Now you can see the damage we're getting. Maybe scale it down just so we have something like that. And let me just call this tempo. And I don't want this hole, so we just, if you want to remove it, just select the outline of these steps, extrude it down. We need to make sure, actually before I even do that, I can just grab this edge and this, extrude down, and just align them like that, fill them like that, and then just fill this hole and this hole, and then the inside will no longer be a hole like that. So shade smooth, auto smooth. Now you are making it complicated for Boolean itself. Now, so the reason why I did this is so that I don't have the hole like that. Hello, Ganja Farmer, how are you doing? Yeah, so now we can just grab this. I think I can change the coordinates from local to global, and maybe scale this down like this. And if you give this object a different material, I think, so if I give this a different material, maybe white or blue, we can there used to be an option where you could change the, let me see, let me look at the normals of this and try recalculating this and see. Let me, oh good, the reference scene looks great. Yeah, that's why I picked it, man. It just looks amazing. Okay, so now that we have this, we can duplicate it a few times. Let me also turn on the displacement so that it's much visible. Okay, for some reason it's let me change this to fast to exact, and I can grab this, go to edit mode, duplicate it in different areas, and it should also be able to make cutouts in those areas like that. Let me turn on random colors so I can just produce damage in different spots like that. Just make sure that these are not intersecting. I'm not sure why. Okay, it seems that this one here is intersecting. Okay, let's try changing the Boolean option because I'm saying that now this is intersecting. Let me go back to the outliner. Select the plane, change this to fast. That's causing issues as well. If we change this to this, we can change this from using object to collection. Maybe that will help. Let me grab this. I think the reason why we are seeing some intersection, if we change this back to object and reuse the object, we need to reduce the strength of the denoiser like this. So that there are no vertices intersecting with each other. I'll play with these edge loops and bring back the reference image. Let me use object and maybe reduce some of these points. So we can have minimum damage that won't cause a lot of issues. We can even increase the strength now without getting too much problems. The trick with the damage is very clever. Thank you. Maybe scale this on the X. Do this again. Like that. I can even add more subdivisions and maybe change the noise distance if you want it to be a bit noisy. At some point, if the vertices start intersecting, the noise, the entire boolean just starts to disappear. So I think this is good damage. It's now up to the texturing. I have a good course about texturing and materials, so I'm not going to be too detailed. Actually, I can just go to my asset library and look for concrete material. Let me search for this. You know what? I think we need to create the concrete from scratch. So let me just go back to the textiles folder add-on. Look for concrete. Because I want the inner parts here to have a different color or a different material like this. Maybe kind of a dusty look. Which version are you using? I'm using Blender 3. When you use Unreal Engine, yeah, I use Unreal Engine sometimes. Okay, so for this, let's look for concrete. I can grab something like this, import it as a texture node, like that. Just also make sure that's using object mapping as well, like that. Blend the two, like that, and then this can be our new material like that. Now, one thing you want, I don't know how to make the reference image just stay there without switching to different images. I thought maybe pinning it would do, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Okay, so I want to make the damage a different color. Yo, thank you for subscribing. Nan Nguyen, thank you, really appreciate it. So I want to make the damage a different color. Usually the damage takes on the color or the material of the boolean, but in this case it doesn't seem to be doing that. But one way to do it, if we go to the face orientation, you can see that the damage uses a different, the norm of the damages is the opposite. The normals are flipped for the damages, so we can use that at our advantage. So if I go back to the, let me first remove the orientation here, the face orientation. Press the shield to do what? Press the shield to do what? You could also use a plane as dust or sand. What I want to do is to go to the geometry and look at the back facing. Is it back facing? Let me see. That's the incoming. This is the normal tangent. I thought. Let me first hide these. Let me look at the normal again. The first face orientation again. Okay, so the face orientation is still the same. All the normals are facing the right direction. What I wanted is to have them flipped so that, let me see if that will not affect the material itself. I'm going to go back to this and flip the normals of this, and that takes the boolean away. So let's see if we try using a different boolean option. Like first, look at the face orientation. Hide this. You can see now the damage is getting a different orientation. So let me see if that translates into the back facing option. Yeah. Let's go back here, remove face orientation. So now you can see that the damage is getting a different color. So we can use that as a mask. So here I can add a color mix RGB. This can be color 1, and then the back facing can be our factor or our mask. And now we have something like this. You can see now the damage is getting some different material. I'm also going to change the smooth angle to maybe something like 45 or 90. 45. Oh, yeah, I know why it can stay 30. So I want this to be smooth. So to do that, I need to make sure that the Boolean object is also given a smooth option. So it has to be smooth, and the angle for this actually should just be smooth plain. So that's our damage, and I'm going to go to my texture folder add-on and search for a sand texture. I don't think I have any. Let me see. Let me look for ground. I have this kind of sand texture. I think I can use it, but let me try to look for PBR materials. Yeah, there is this here. I think I could use that. So I'm going to create a new object here that is going to hold this material for a second, because I want to copy it and reuse it here. So this is our material. So I can grab all this entire node group, or these nodes that make up that material, copy, then paste it. To pin the image on the right, press the shield. The shield, I don't think keeps it there. It just maybe it does. Without the pinning, it just saves it so that whenever you say, if you quit Blender, it doesn't destroy the image, or it doesn't remove it if it's not being used by any other object. So I think instead of using a mix shader here, sorry, a mix RGB, I'm going to use a mix shader so that the damage has a different material. So we have two materials, the sand, and I think I need to UV unwrap this using box projection. So the sand and the concrete, like that. So I can blend the two and use so this goes into one, and use the what was it called? Yeah, the back facing mask we created. Back facing mask to be our mask, and you can see now it looks that is getting a different material. Another thing I could do is make it a bit darker so that it stands out a bit more. So I'm going to grab a mix RGB, connect it there, and maybe set this to a mix. And now I can make this a bit darker, like that, so I can increase the factor if I want. And you can see now we have some nice damage, and we can, if we want more damage, we just grab any of these cubes, Shift D. As I said, I have a course on creating shaders. That's the link if you want, if you're interested. We can make this, the steps, give them more detail. I'm just going to add a boolean, not a boolean, but a bevel modifier before the boolean. Just reduce the angle, add in normals, like that. Hello, Sudu Mera Beta. How are you doing? Let me turn on ambient occlusion here to for the factor and some screen space reflections like that. We can make this even wider, and if you want, even we can duplicate this damage around. And but another thing we could do is extend these steps, so I can grab this face, extrude it to the back, go back to the camera, and let's create these pillars here. It shouldn't be too difficult, so we can make a different design from what they have. So I'm just going to grab a plane like this, and going to move it in edit mode like this. I want to make use of the mirror modifier, so let me do this from the side here. Let me first actually move it like here. Let me zoom in on this just a bit. So I can use an empty object, rotate it 45 degrees. That way I can use it as a mirror object. I want to know where you guys from. I know I've asked some of you, and I already know some of you where you from. Some of you guys, I already know where most of you are from, but yeah, I want to know my audience a little bit better. So if you don't mind, can you share your location in the chat? Okay, so yeah, we have this, and I can, let me see, can I mirror this on the Y? Yeah, I can mirror this on the Y, and now we have something like this. I just need to reposition it. Patrick Hollywood, or here USA. Nice. I am from Egypt. Nice. My northern neighbor there. Nice. Los Angeles, DMI. Nice. So, is it easy for you guys to get jobs where you are in the VFX industry, or are you just doing it for fun? Okay, so I'm going to use this material here. I am from Tamil Nadu. That's India, I think. Yeah. Instead of boolean, can we sculpt? Yeah, but that is going to be a lot of work if you're trying to sculpt. They're hiring big time here. Yeah, but yeah, that's in the US, I guess, because your industry is the most mature industry, I think, in the world, so it's no surprise. But is it easy for you? If you try to, have you tried to get hired? Like, how difficult is it? We can start styling this, adding in some extra some details, maybe insert. Just add as many details as you want. We grab this, insert. Same to you, man. It's very hard here because all the ask is for 2D illustrations. Egypt. So you mean there are more jobs for 2D artists than 3D? Yeah, I don't. Do they make a lot of movies in Egypt? Because I don't think I've watched. I don't think I've watched any movies from Egypt. So that could. I'm trying to make designs here that would fit this scene, and maybe even I can just add a cube, scale it down like this. I think we can do away with this portion here. Can you make a car tutorial? Yeah, cars are quite. They take a lot of time. I would have to do a lot of preparation to do that. It's very easy in LA if you have any talent. And how much do you expect to be paid if you're in the US? If you are in LA, maybe be specific. Just trying to design this, and I think it's too reflective, so I need to go back here and add convert a math node just to make it less reflective. Junaid from Pakistan, a freelance 3D artist, makes around 100 to 150 an hour. Oh, that's good. But how many hours do you expect to work? Because that's something I find most people kind of forget to ask, because you might be getting a very high hourly rate, but you're only working a few hours. So how many hours are you expecting to work to get when working? I think I'm going to switch. This material can be a different material. Let me find a concrete surface like this and just unwrap. We're also going to give this some damage just to make it more interesting, and we can continue adding in some shapes. So I'm just going to grab this. And just I can mirror this on the Y. There is an option to do a face boolean, so I'll go to my faces and then use boolean cut, which is going to give us that. Before you even use, let me see. Let me see how this would look. If you are working on modeling team of a gaming studio like Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, Rockstar North, you will get highly paid. Yeah, those are very, very big companies. Around 70K. That's a pair, I'm guessing. That's a lot of money. Though in Egypt, they pay you $5 or less an hour. $5. Let me see how much that would be in our currency. So $5 times an hour. So let me say if you're working 12 hours, if you're working 12 hours, that's 6 days a week, and 4 divide by, that's a lot of money here, even if you just, did I calculate that correctly? I'm trying to see how much you would be making here, because if you're being paid $5 an hour times 12 hours, that's 60 times times what? Is it 6 days? Yeah, we'll assume you're working 6 days a week and 4 weeks a month. That's not a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. Even here in my country, it wouldn't be a lot, because it would be around, let me see. Actually, it is a lot of money. Here, it would be good money. Actually, you have to take it back. $5 an hour if you're working 12 hours, that is. But I don't think you would be getting that. A senior would get $950 a month. More. You said you are from US. Is that in the US? Because that's not a lot. That is not a lot, because the US has crazy bills other than where I'm from. So even that is not a lot here. So maybe you missed a zero. Okay, so let's continue detailing this. Maybe give it the same thing that just see, I'm just working on one side, and then the mirror is handling the rest. And you can add details just like that, and it will make the entire thing much better. So maybe put these scale individually. Oh, sorry, you said Egypt. $950 a month. For Egypt, I'm not sure about your economy in Egypt. So would that be enough for? So if a senior is paid $950, what about a junior artist? How much would that be? How much would they get? Because that doesn't look like a lot of money. Character modeling is a highly demanding job in gaming industry, and their salary is above $150K. That's good. That's good money, really good money. But I've also heard that it's quite a demanding job, so you would be spending most of your time in the studio. So you're usually working more than the average, more hours than the average person. So. Okay, so we have created this pillar. I think it's a good design. Maybe the other thing I could do is let me select this edge loop. Maybe everything here. I use this. Just make it a bit wider. You know what? Let's keep it like that. Use some booleans for the pillars. Yeah, we're going to do that. I think I need to first apply the mirror like that. So we have this is our pillar, and we should for the booleans to work very well, to work better. I think let me first undo this. I need to make sure that the mirror is working. The edges here are connected. So I need to make sure that they are connected. That. Just come back here. Yeah, like that. Make sure that have clipping and everything is connected correctly. Then I can merge the top. I think okay, I need to go back a few steps. I need to first make sure that at least one corner is applied like that. Then I can have, let me first get rid of these. I'm going to come back and read the messages because I love having a conversation with you guys. I think I need another mirror object. Let me first apply rotation. For the boolean to work, you need to make sure that there are no gaps. So then we can just connect this. I think this is a decent pillar. So now with that, camera angle looks horrible. Yeah, we haven't really set up the camera. Just it's just we're using it to frame. Maybe let me change the distance, the view distance, or the something like that. Now, with the mirror applied, I can add a boolean. I can use a cube like this, give it the same modifier as this. I can also make sure that it's wireframe, and this can use the same materials, link materials like this. Let me scale this down, and I'm going to give this a boolean. This time we can use a collection, and maybe let me have my outliner here. Create some space for the outliner. Outliner, where is that? Where is that? Let me go back to the messages because I want to see. Okay, I want this to be in a new collection. Call it pillar booleans or bools, and we can use that as the new so it's making a cut, but for some reason it's not filling it in. So let's investigate. And first apply the mirror and just merge by distance so that we don't have any edge loops. Let me turn on face orientations because I want to make sure that I'm not seeing any go back here. Add some booleans in upper side of the pillar. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to add other booleans, and I want the face to. I don't want this to be hollow like what we are having now. But if it's hollow, it's usually because. Let me see. What could be causing this? If I scale this. Okay, if I scale this down. Let me use first. You know what? I think we are not going to add the booleans. We're not going to cut booleans here because it's having some issues. Select the pillar and use Alt F. Alt F. That's just going to do a beauty fill. I'm not sure if that helps at all. Let me see. If I use this, give it the same modifier as this, and just select give this a boolean, select this as the object. It's giving us the same. I think the issue might be, let me see. I think the issue might be because of this, whatever is happening here in the back. So let me fix that first, and then we can see. So for that, I just need to remove all the vertices on this side. I remove all the vertices on this side. So I have this, then I can mirror on the X, mirror on the Y. Now let's try boolean again. I just have a cube, subdivide it, and then give it the same modifier as this, copy modifiers. So then boolean, select this, and let's try first. Yeah, this is what I wanted. I just wanted this to have a piece like that, and if we go back to this, what I want is make sure that this has its normals flipped like that. Actually, they need to be not flipped. Now you can see now our pillars, we can create easy damage like that. Let me reduce the subdivision on this, and maybe give this a wireframe as well. Subdivide it. Can go back to the modifier, maybe use global, and we can have this in the pillar collection, and just use a collection for the booleans. So pillar, I can see now we can easily add that. The problem was the normals of the booleans were flipped. Yeah, maybe. I'm not really sure. Because for these pieces, the normals are flipped as well. So the cutter object, I actually want the normals of the cutter object to be flipped, but when I try flipping them, then this misbehaves. So let me see if I scale this. Yeah. And the reason why I want them flipped is because when I flip them, you see the inner part gets this other material, which is what I want. So yeah, flipping them gives us that. So I can duplicate this around, have it somewhere else like that. You can create varied damage. I want this to have hello Julius Mabumba, good morning as well. Maybe scatter some crumble on the ground where some of the pillars are. That could be a good idea. We can do that. Why Blender is not industry standard? Because Blender is young compared to industry standard software. It's only older than, I think, Cinema 4D. Yeah, so those are our pillars. Some are broken, and we can just, I'm going to duplicate this, apply the mirror, apply the boolean, so we have another damaged one. I will have it here, duplicate this on the Y, rotate it like that, duplicate this on the X. Blender has great modeling tools. Yes, yes. Julius, you're from South Africa. Nice. Southern neighbor. Maybe some, oh, yeah, I'll bring that. I'm working on an Asian temple. Oh, great, great, great. I think I'm also doing the same here. Yeah, so let's see what other details can we add in. Let's create the same temple here, maybe. So we can start by adding a block. Let me see. We can begin by creating 3 pillars like that. Maybe even bring them a bit forward on the Y. Then let's add a block like that. Give it the same material. Link materials like that. Have it on the X. Let's try to go to it rendered mode, and I'm going to use a sun 10 and something like that. So I need your help. I'm busy making a train simulation in Blender, Blender game engine, and I'm struggling to make it accelerate, decelerate, signaling and switching. Yeah, so unfortunately I'm not very versed in the game engine, Blender game engine, so I can't really help you in that. Let's add some details onto this concrete block. Add an area light. Where should I add the area light? Let's create this detail. And we can come in here, add in edit mode, just add a cube like that, and one of his face we can grab all the faces, insert them again, and extrude out like that. Insert again. This is an amazing way of adding extra details to your temple like that. Then I can just duplicate them. Like that. Now I can bring this a bit forward. Now you can see how that looks. Can even grab this edge loop. Just bevel it. Surround off that. Maybe bring this a bit up. Now we can duplicate this again, bring it down, maybe scale it down even. Grab this face, extrude it up, just like that, and I can grab one of these pillars, just duplicate it, scale it up a bunch like that, duplicate it, have it on the other side, and basically what we're doing is building, making the table can grab this again, duplicate this again. This piece here is floating. I don't want that. I'll just get rid of it. Where do you want me to add the LED light? Let me go to my asset library and search for one. Yeah, this. Let me get this guy. have him here. And make him editable so that I can pause him. Just grab him, Ctrl P. Let me just grab this. Just give him a nice pose. I like it, how simple it is to create amazing detail like this in no time. Yeah. With just a few blocks, you can see you can make a pretty detailed surface. I think I'm just going to also grab this piece here is not too detailed, so I'm going to add some subdivisions like this. And just select these faces, insert them, maybe insert them like this, push them in, insert again, extrude in, insert. This time just the faces. Can create some detail just simply using a few steps. I think this piece here could use a mirror modifier, so can add that in the middle, like here, get rid of those face and then just use a mirror modifier. And just because I want to create a door, a very large door, so I'm just going to grab this, extrude down, and another thing I could do is just duplicate this entire thing block, just duplicate it and have it inside itself like that. Yes, like that. Have you considered making a short film? Well, a short film requires more than a few people, and I'm talking a team of at least 5, unless if you're just planning on making 5 seconds, and I don't have a team of 5. See, actually, so since we can grab this, actually I want this to have a center or a pivot point at the free cursor there. So please upload any hard surface videos. I think I have a few already, so you can search the channel and I should be able to find some. Going to grab this piece, scale it up, just push it back a bit, scale it up further, push it back, scale it up. And I think we are getting something that looks very extremely large. Make it even bigger. I'm going to go to this and just insert this face, push it in, and I saw this this statue here, so I'm going to add it in. This uses a glued copper material that I created in previous tutorials, but I want this to be concrete, so I can just link this apply the scale, scale it down, just add it in there. Okay, seems to be hidden or behind our this piece here, which is not what I want. Actually, I can move this into a new collection called beam. Actually, I don't want this to be here. It's going to create problems. Let me just move this into a backup collection called BK. Can unhide that for now. Make some pillars that have fallen to the ground. Okay, you can do that. I think we're going to extend these a bit. Grab these pillars, have them here. Okay, you want some broken pillars falling? What I can do with that, I can just grab a pillar like this. Let me make sure that this is not a linked object, so I'll go to relationship, make single user object data like that. And I think if I grab a plane, a cube like this, I can give it a subdivision. Maybe even add some supporting loops like that. Then give it a boolean, a displacement modifier. Activate screen keys. Thank you for reminding me. Should have done that. Okay, something like that. Add a displacement. I'm just going to use the same noise modifier that we had. I like that. I can use global. And now what I can do is, let me see. I'll grab this, scale it up. I can just give them a wireframe. Now select this, give this a boolean, and select this as the object. And you can see we have that. You see it's a broken piece. Now I can duplicate this again, and this time we can do intersect. Yeah, I can do intersect, so that we have the other piece. Now I can apply this. Now we have a broken piece. That matches. Like that. And can even grab this. Actually, I need to first apply the boolean here. We don't need this anymore, so I'll have it in my backup as well. Can grab this, have it maybe here, and grab this as well. Just push it somewhere. So we can use a few of these. have them in different areas. Now I can also grab this large one, have it maybe somewhere here. Yo, thank you Aya Al Haidani for subscribing. If you're new here and you want to subscribe, that would be amazing. It really helps out the channel quite a lot. So yeah, if you want to do that, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to grab this piece here, just duplicate it. Just have something like that. And I'm going to search for ground because I know I have some nice ground surfaces that I've created in previous videos. Let's see, flow. Actually, don't think I do have any good ones. Let me see, I have this flow here. I created it for a different stream. Let me see if it fits in this scene. Just reduce the arrays to something like 2 or 1, 2, sorry. And let me see if I grab these steps. Actually, no. And I don't think this fits, or maybe it fits if we give it a different material. No. Did you took Blender course or learning from YouTube? Mostly YouTube, I think. Let me see if I reduce because I still want to see some of the details we have added in here. And I think this wall here looks too plain, so I'm going to grab this piece, add that, add it there. Think things are looking pretty good. Make the lighting perfect because you added a lot of detail and that had to be highlighted. I'll try and see. So let's see, what is the best angle for the light to be coming from? I have this. I like this angle because it gives us a lot of detail, but I don't want that. I want also to have a shadow somewhere here. So let me try duplicating this again. Just so we can frame. Maybe let me grab this. Maybe it will give us a very interesting shadow. I'm not sure. I can, let me see if I grab this piece, rotate it Doesn't seem to work. Just going to grab these steps, duplicate them, extend them like that. Can also have that angle, which I think looks also good. You can have this angle. And I can even duplicate this even further. Just make this feel even grander. You can add texture to the light itself. Can you? How would you do that? I'll make some sand in the foreground, or like in the image here. Let's see. How do we add the sand? So I think we can start with a plane. I'll give it a subdivision, or subdivide it a few times, and then add a subdivision surface, and then give it a subdivision surface, and then give it. Let's go to the textures folder. I have this ground. Let me add that. I think I want to use object mapping. So let me first change this to object mapping, and make sure that everything is set to box. So when I scale this up, it doesn't really affect the scale. And I want this to use a displacement modifier. I can use the same texture, shade smooth, scale this. We can use an object, maybe an empty, like this, to control the scale of the noise. And we can duplicate another subdivision surface. And then think I can have something like this in different areas. And I can turn on proportional editing, grab some of these vertices, just pull them down so that only parts are not. So that only parts of, maybe even subdivide this further. Let me make sure that I'm just using object. Add some sand particles and volumetrics. Okay, I think we can do that. Add a texture to drive to drive light patterns. Is it possible in Eevee? Because I'm using Eevee, and I don't think you can edit the lights in Eevee. You can't. I don't think you can add textures to the lights. And I don't want to hide. I'm going to go to the texture here. Just reduce on the scale. And I just have some of these. I think that looks decent. You can see some sand on the steps. Maybe even subdivide this. So some sand here and there. Okay, let's try adding some volumetrics, because that's very easy. We can just start with a cube, and we don't want it to go everywhere. We can just have it up to there. Just change this to wire. New material. And you can use a plane in front of a light and play with the transparent shadow and color ramp. There is a tutorial on the Blender Secret. Okay. Let's see if I add a shader, principal volume. Yeah, that's what I want. And I can use 0.5, 0.1. And let's get the so I was having some audio issues, but I think they are fixed now, so let's continue. Add some walking animation to the character. That's a lot of work, man. Creating a walk cycle can be difficult. Maybe reconnect the headset with the cable. Yeah, I've done that. I think I have fixed it. Please tell me you are not still streaming. You're not still streaming from yesterday? Yeah, I've been streaming for an entire week. Non-stop. No, I'm not streaming from yesterday. This is just a new stream. It's just 1 hour. I usually stream for about 2 hours a day, and that's it. Okay. I like how the light. I think what I'm going to do is see how to block the light here, so that we have it mostly here. Maybe scale this. Let me first remove the auto key. I want to block most of the light. So I want just a slit of light. I bring my sun. Bring this, give it a nice color like that. Yeah, before I got interrupted by the mic, I was trying to I was trying to calculate the distance from the camera, which should be it's about 21, so we can just use 25 for the volume N, and that usually improves on the the resolution of the volumetrics. And I think use a Palin to block light. I mean a noise texture. Go mix some more to add the character animation. No, we can do that later, maybe. First. See, I want to block out the light for a bit. Let me first play with the noise, the texture here. I think it's free for $1. Mix them up. I suggest you use an add-on called Power Save. It has saved me plenty of time when with Blender crashes. Talking about Blender crashes, let me save a second copy. That's usually what I do. So does it recover the project when Blender crashes? Because if it does, then that's amazing. Let me see if I extend this. Let me see. I'm trying to get a better composition, and I'm not very sure about so you can have something like that. And right about now, this is when I usually get my vibrant color presets add-on. This is just to help me out with playing around with different looks, see what works best. So I have these ready-made presets that you can play with. I think this also looks good. It doesn't add on the render time. It doesn't do much. Just let me use a low contrast or medium low. Play with the contrast here, the colors, like how dark these shadows are. Did professionals use GPU rig for their 3D work? Did 3D? Yeah, you really need a very powerful rig to do 3D. So yeah, professionals must be using that. Just playing with the different colors. Let me reset. So this is how it looks, but I can come here and just play with the colors a bit. See what look I want. Maybe kind of a faint. Actually, I like that warm look. Give it let's reset. Your vibrant color preset is like an Instagram filter. Yeah, I guess it is. It just helps play with the look a bit. Just give you an idea of how your render might look with different colors. Let me grab this character. Just maybe nah. A power save automatically adds increments 0 to etc. It will normally recover fairly recent to your crash. See, add some grass or a little plants. Okay, let me go to my asset library and search for some plants and see. Have this, maybe you can add that. And just go in the particle systems. Scale the particles. I'm not sure what kind of plants would be in this scene. Maybe I can bring the camera a bit down. It makes the scene look really massive. And I think I'm going to grab some of these blocks, or just grab this. Let me see if I have this. So something like that. Go to the world settings. Just let me try using an environment light or HDRI to light up the scene. I think I can go to the skies PBR. Let me see what can I get. Something like this. You don't want it to be too much. Let's see how this looks in cycles. We have some Let's make sure I'm using GPU. Turn on denoising. I think it looks even much better in cycles. I don't want to see these here. They should be in the backup collection. That's cycles. Let me see if I can increase the maximum samples to something like 496. And since we're using cycles, I can remove the HDRI and just use a sky texture. And maybe even hide the sun for a second. I'll see how the sky texture was going to look. Let me change the rotation to maybe 980. Let's try 120. By playing with the direction of the sun, we can get a different look. Let me change this to 90 for the sun elevation. And let's try 60. 45. Each angle is going to give you a different look. And let me first remove the volumetrics, just so I can see, so that the render is a bit faster. The plant is way too big, twice as big as the character. You think so? So let me scale it down. And I think it's also too green for this environment. So I'm not sure, maybe I can change that a bit later. I want to get the best angle for this. Let me see. 90. I wish there was a much easier way to... Okay, that's also not a bad look. That is also not bad. If you're using cycle, I think cycles, most settings you're going to use for the sun are going to just look good. But cycles also has its issues. Takes a lot of time to render, and I think in cycles I might want to also reduce how dark this material is. The damaged material. The reference image is has so much light bounce on the floor. You might want to use an up-facing area light. I know this is, I think, was post-production, so I think it has some bit of bloom effect going on. So that's why you see a lot of light bouncing off. You can replicate that using the compositor. And let's switch back to Eevee. That means the sun is not going to work anymore. So let me reduce or switch it to this and hide our sun. You know what? I think I like the cycles. I like cycles much better. So let's go with the cycles look. And the plants, I don't really have a lot of plants. unfortunately. Let me see if I have, I think I have some grass. I have this grass element, so let me add that. And the great thing about this is that if I subdivide this a few times like that, I can have it be projected onto, let me go to, I can use a shrink wrap modifier and just project it onto the steps like that. And I can also duplicate, just make sure that the particles is below this. I can also duplicate this shrink wrap, actually duplicate the shrink wrap and select the second steps as the projection. I can change this wrap method to projection and this to projection. That way these follow. And I can also just make sure that this is rotated, and then like this. I can also have some of this on top of this sand. So for that I also need another shrink wrap modifier, so duplicate and this time select the sand. Now what is left is playing with the colors of the grass. So just make sure that most of it is brown. And maybe play with the particles a bit, randomize their scale. Let's make these more brown. Let's go back to cycles. Can you try making the grass tiny? The grass tiny, barely visible. Yeah, the grass blades. I think that should be the case, and I think what I can do is, instead of having, I just grab one grass blade like this, just have something like that, and I can use more particles or even use a collection. Now I can use children. I just increase the random size and the radius. Yeah, so something like that I think. Now, I think the spotlight, though, looks good. It makes it less realistic to have a spotlight in this scene. Let me bring the camera closer. I think I can grab some rocks to put on the side to block out some lights. So I have a few stones that I could use. I got these, I think, from CG Trader or Turbo Squid somewhere. I didn't make them myself, but I think I can use them in this scene. So I can grab this and block the light at the back as well. Let's go back to cycles. It's lacking depth for some reason, so let me see. Let me look at the camera angle you're using here. Let's try 20. I think this wall also looks too plain, so I think I can grab some of these pieces and just add them here. Maybe rotate this 180 degrees. I think it's also a bit too dark on the inside, so just going to remove some of these light, change the angle of the light. Using sun or sky, this extreme breaks depth in the scene. I try using shadows in front. I think another thing I could do is just push these, I don't know, maybe add some gap between this block here, because I think it's causing, and see if I hide. I think now it's looking a little bit better. We're seeing some grass patches. And I don't like how the grass is distributed evenly. So I'm going to add a vertex group on the grass. So I'm going to go to vertex paint. Just paint some round of patches. Go to the particle system, and this time in the vertex groups I can set a new density so that the grass is, and I also want the rotation of the grass to be a bit random. Love the scene without blocking the light. It looked cool. It looks cool now. Let me see. I think now it's about contrast, playing with some colors. So let me go to the vibrant color add-on, just make it a bit dark like that. I think it's starting to look cool. Maybe even grab let me see 0.0. You know what, I think the density, the noise, sorry, the volumetrics are not really working for me. Maybe this guy can be in the light. Somewhere. And he looks too small. So I'm scaling him down. I think the grass is too big. Yeah, I'm realizing that. But actually, this is fairly large. Sorry, fairly thin. Maybe if you're saying the thickness. I want him to be partly in the sun, maybe somewhere there. Think that is not too bad. I can the height, I mean, the thickness is perfect. Yeah, I think the grass is the height of the grass is is okay, I think. This kind of single blade grass grows quite tall. Have you seen? Actually, that was not grass. There's a movie called The Grass. I think that was corn. It wasn't really grass. Or was it grass? Actually, it was grass. So a grass can be fairly tall. Let's try using a lot of particles. What I'm not liking is how all the grass is facing the same direction. So I'm going to create a few copies of the grass. And I just have it rotated. Let me see. Yeah, this is using a grass collection, so I can easily, if I grab this, I can have this rotated in the opposite direction. Come back to the collection. At least a single weapon in the hands of the character. I don't think I have any weapons. Let me try a different angle here and see. Okay, this is also not a bad angle. Let's see this here. It's all about the grass. Let's see from the top. Top doesn't look too bad as well. From here, this is also not a very bad angle. Here, not too bad. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Yeah, looks really good. Thank you, Ganja. Thank you, everyone. That's, you know what, we have 6 minutes remaining. Let me show you what we created yesterday. I was trying to, and actually I'm going to also render this out after the stream. So let me check the animation one more time. Hopefully it doesn't come out too noisy. Let me look at Eevee. It's very unfortunate that Eevee doesn't use the same sky system as cycles. It would be perfect. For Eevee, we would need to add our own sky, which is yeah, kind of bummer. But yeah, I wanted to show you what we did yesterday. I was trying to animate. Actually, not this. I didn't complete that. Or maybe we can complete this in the remaining few minutes, because I want to render this out and have it on my Instagram or TikTok. Okay, so for this, I was looking at, again, the reference images. Let me go to Blender and Beyond. go back to this. Yeah, so I want to get this image. Yeah, let me reset my colors because so that's where we are. Yeah, let's continue. Let's finish this project and yeah, call it a day. What can we add here? I'll go, let me search for a table or rag, because I think I have a nice rag. Yeah, this. I think this is the last thing I want to add because it's kind of slow. It's very heavy, so it's kind of making the scene a bit laggy. Another thing, let me look for some chairs. So let me ask again, do you guys like ArcViz? Do you guys watch a lot of ArcViz videos? Let me see what kind of chair can I have. Maybe add this. For some reason, this chair has a light in its collection. Let's see if we can undo this. Okay. Blender crashed. Let's get back. Let me search for chair again. I start working ArcViz in a couple of weeks. Ah, nice, nice. So what are you going to be working on? Ah, God. Blender is crashing every time I try to undo these steps. Let me just preview in cycles. I'll run a project for an architecture office. Ah, nice. Are you going to be using Blender? 3 meters or 2.5 and 4. Let's try 500 like that. I think what is going to make this more interesting is the fact that we can see the outside like that, and for the outside we can add some buildings to make the scene more interesting. Okay, I'm not sure why this glass is not transparent, so let me look at that. Just search for glass. Let me use this glass. Yeah, I want the glass to be clear like that, and I can duplicate this. Can make this really large. Now let me add another building. For sure, I'll use Blender, then give me the CAD file and I text them and finish the render. They pay good, around 800 per render picture. Wow, man, that's a lot of money per rendered picture. Nice, 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 nice. Is that a new job you have just got, or you have been in contract with them? Have you worked with them before? Because that's a very decent pay. If you make like 10 images, that's 10K for you. It's a nice payday. Let me look for furniture. See what I can get. Let me look for table. Have this glass table. I think I can add it maybe on the outside here. And grab this seat, just duplicate it, have it here. And I think I can get also a rail. Yeah, I think I can use something like this. Add on the outside, like a guardrail like that. And I'm going to change the light angle. What's the best category of freelancing, like VFX or ArcViz, etc.? That's difficult. I think I'm not really sure. I can't lie because let me change the rotation of the sun to get a different look. I will start there. I learned Blender for a year now. It will be my first project, so I have to hope I do I do good at it. Just working on my library with cars, furniture, trees. Yeah, building up a library is one of the most important thing, I think, in anyone's 3D career, because you can also use it to show off what you are able to do. Good luck, man. Good luck. Is it easy to get into freelancing? Where do you do it? It depends on your location. Location really matters a lot. If you have a lot of studios around you, it's going to become very easy for you to get jobs. But nowadays, even you can try, if you have good work, you can find work online. You can try Fiverr, you can try different sites and see if you can get something there. Let me see. Let me play with my vibrant colors again. Just get a different look. Set. Thanks, man. I still learn different things every day from you. Very helpful. I'm glad to be helpful. Hey, CG Boof, how are you doing? Hello, Hara Hap. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Let me see. What else can I add here? Do I have some carpets? I have this. Let me try a different environment texture. Yeah, something like that. Maybe make this a night scene instead of daytime. Lighting looks nice. Thank you, thank you. The scene looks nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just looking for things to add in and just starting to struggle a bit. Not sure what to add in. Let me see if I go to my objects. Let me add this. Let me look for plant. Are the assets in the library made by you? Yeah. I've made them myself. and you can get them. If you want to get them, you can go to CG Trader to this link, and this is where I have them for sale if you want to get them. Let me add this as well. I like to play with different color presets just to see. How long did it take you to make and have so many assets? Yeah, it's been a while. I've been doing this for quite some time, and every model I've created, I've kept until I realized there was an efficient way to use them, and that's how I created the add-on. Yeah. Maybe let me change my composition a bit. I think one of the issues we are having is the floor is too plain, so let me look for some wood material. Maybe I could use something like this for the wood. Maybe make it a bit darker. And less reflective. I don't know, let me try this. Let me try this. I think I'm going to go with that. Let me look for some wood, some wall materials. Grab this blue, maybe give it to this side wall. Do you use marble materials? Do you use marble materials? I'm not sure what those. You mean like a marble, actual marble? Because yeah, what makes marble is I think the kind of glossy reflections that you add on it. So anything can be marble. Let me look for some electronics. Electronics. Now, so these go to the kitchen. I think what we are failing to do is get some good colors. That's why I don't think we go to my vibrant colors. I think I can add this mirror as well somewhere here near the dresser. And this can use and I'm going to block some of this light, I think. Use the sun. I think actually this looks better. Just need to Just change this to be a bit different. I think I can use a shader, translucent material instead of just blend the two and just add a color. I think the table and plant are a little too big, too much on the right. I liked the simple room. So I think, yeah, I think I can have this, the dresser somewhere here. And this there. Let's bring this back to our daytime. Yeah, I think I'm going to call this a day. I'll give this a render, see how the results come out. And you see the results on the same page where the reference images are. So thank you for being around. Thank you for the support. I'll see you in the next live stream.